Good day everyone, this is Zhatt here, and welcome to another episode of Whazhatt. Today we're going to be looking at Train Fever, the beta version, build 3900. This is actually going to be the second time I'm recording this since my air conditioning unit had tripped the breaker and I lost about an hour's worth of recording. So excuse me if I missed a couple things because I'm not sure what I'll have already said and what I need to still say again. So we're going to start a new game. We're going to do a medium world size because my computer has trouble handling some of the models, loading them in. This helps a little bit. Difficulty will go easy just to make things move along. And to make it interesting, we're going to go right up to 1950 for the year. When you first start the game, you'll have to actually start at 1850 and work your way through the years to unlock them. It's not randomized. Let's go to a seed that I tried earlier. And you can see what it is. And we will start. There is a bit of a long load and generation time. I think that might be something that'll be optimized later on, but on my computer it takes a little bit of time. So for your sake, we'll cut directly to the game. I'll see you in a sec. All right, here we are in 1950 with $3 million, which is probably less money than it would be if I started in the 1800s with inflation and whatnot. We got a little tooltip here that we can just turn off. I'll be showing you how to play anyways. And here's our world with some nicely rendered and slowly loading randomized cities. My computer has a little trouble loading up new models, so every time I zoom out or scroll around, it's kind of chug a little bit like that. So I tend to stay zoomed in. Oh, yeah, I don't need to go that far out. And things run fine until I go to a new area. Once everything's loaded in the game, it runs quite smoothly. I assume this is around... Actually, I have no idea how many frames per second because I'm not using DxTory right now. So this is Midlar with West Ham, and I know just over here we've got Whazhatt. So let's connect these two towns together. That's kind of funny. A little bit of town over here disconnected from the other part of the town. I think I'm noticing, I was going to say I'm using the same seed as I used before, and I was going to say the towns look a little bit different, but I think I'm just seeing things. Actually, no, there are some small changes. Oh, I know why, because I'm starting in a different year. Okay, anyways, moving along. This game is about trains, so let's start with that. I'm actually going to turn on some of the music too, because it's got some pretty good music. It's got some funk and slap bass. No, I don't want to quit. I want to close this menu. So let's build a train station. Give it a second and load another model here. Don't freeze on me. Platform length. We'll go with the shorter platform. We'll just build two platforms. And there's a few places you can put it. I mean, you can put it right in the middle of town and you have to plow your way through all the buildings. But I tend to notice that people will walk to a station even if it's pretty far. Essentially, if it shortens their trip to wherever they're going, they will take it. One thing that'll help is if you turn on contour lines, so you can see where the hills and stuff are. And I wish there was a bit more of a finer, I don't know what to call it. I wish there were more contour lines so you could actually see, because this area looks kind of flat, but if I try to place this here, you notice that it's actually quite hilly as it tries to level the train. Over here might be a better spot. And you can snap anywhere along the roads, or you can use M and N to rotate things around. I'll pop it, let's say here. Looks like a decent spot as any. Hopefully that road's not too close. And this will be our station on this side. We'll follow along the river here to Midlar. Probably going to start with a shorter line. The longer lines take longer to get set up and it's producing money and they cost more money. So obviously start with something smaller, work your way up. This one I'll do something a bit more interesting with. I'm going to remove this road. And I'm going to put a high capacity road, a large street. Say, I don't like that curve. Let's go, whoops, from here to here. Sure. And I'm going to build a train station off of this road. train station, passenger, number tracks 2, and I'll place it, say, right there. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to remove this house, these little gardens, barbecue pits, and I'll just take a smaller road and connect that up to here. Nice little bridge. You can choose the type. I don't think this matters much other than just style, and it changes through the years. One reason I'm starting in 1950 is it takes a lot less time to start making money. It's a lot easier to do everything. Which means less challenge. I mean, I wouldn't normally start in this year. I'm just showing you a preview and showing you some of the cooler things you can build. You can build high-speed tracks or standard tracks. There's nothing else I need to do here. Oh, let's connect this road back up. So something to note is a lot of people have been having trouble building crossings, level crossings, because if the track crosses a node anywhere, for example, you can see that this is made out of smaller segments, and between each of these segments is a node on the spline, to get all technical on you, and the tracks won't cross that. If you want to make it easy on yourself, remove some of these randomly generated roads and rebuild them, or it'll be a lot easier to cross. So now I know there's no spline anywhere along here. I can easily build my track, and I can just connect this up. Whoa, let's go this way. Connect this to here, and connect this to here. You'll be doing a lot of this remodeling, removing houses, removing roads, and rebuilding them. But the towns pop right back. As you can see, this all pops right back in, and it's relatively inexpensive. I mean, I think it's about 5K to remove pretty much everything, which later on in the game it's kind of overpowered because you have enough money that you can just demolish an entire town and have little consequence. Something I think they'll be balancing later on. Their developers are quite aware of it. Again, this is beta, still a lot being sort of tweaked. So now I can just go straight through here with no real problem. The curve of the rail is going to determine the maximum speed your trains can move at. I don't think any trains I have right now will go up to 300, but something to pay attention to if you're going to be having a high speed line in the future. And it's pretty simple to build track over road once you've done the setup like I have. But note, you can't build road over track from what I understand. I'll test it in a bit actually, make sure that hasn't changed. And so let's just build this high-speed track. Let's turn the catenary? I always forget how to pronounce that. The electricity on the tracks. And so yeah, we got on the station going this way. Looks good. Cha-ching, $64,000. And across here, another nice little bridge, all high speed. Laying the track is quite pleasant and simple to do. It can get kind of messy and complicated when you start hitting terrain. For example, cutting through here makes a bit of a cut, which in this case isn't so bad. Note that it costs more money. So if I'm going from here to here, this is 63, but if I just go up here, it's gonna be 13, and if I go down here, it's 37, so that entire thing would be about 40, 50. So you can cut a little bit of money by not doing major changes to terrain. So if I make a shorter route there and then go back down this hill, say here, that was like 20, that's 20. It's not 20, so that was like about, it costs almost the same in that situation. But in larger cuts, like say this hill here, if I were to cut straight through it, tunnel pops up. That cost me about 400K, but if I bring it back, oh, actually not too much difference there. But if I were to go up the hill, that's only 63, and then come back down the other side, that's only 48, so that's a lot cheaper than just cutting straight through it in either fashion. And that sort of thing happens like here. It's like, this is gonna cost me a lot of money if I go like that. Plus I think it looks silly to build those giant berms, so I'm gonna go down into this valley and back out. I don't know if you can really call that a valley, but a bit of a ditch. Just a minor point. Same here, I'll go down this little side of the hill and then I guess we're cutting through that. I could go up here. This is gonna get complicated when I start building switches, so I'm just gonna do this, spend the extra money. I mean, that's not a lot of money in the end. That's sort of realistic. I've seen tracks like that before. So that's a single track. We've got a double track on here, so building a double track is pretty simple. You just drag and it automatically snaps to it. Note, you do have to be kind of zoomed in or else it tries to snap onto the track as if you're making a switch. So you have to be kind of zoomed in and pop it out, which is a little annoying, but I think, again, something that the developers are aware of and are working on. So let's go all the way along here. Let's see how far we can go, actually. If I drag this all the way out here, zoom in, and go next to it. No, it doesn't like that, because it starts drawing. Doesn't snap all the way along. So I need to bring it back. Oh yeah, new vehicle, new bus. That all you have freaks me out every time. It's like, who's in my room saying that? Okay, that worked. Keep on going. I kind of wish there was an option to just build 2 tracks together to begin with, instead of drawing one of each. I can sort of see why it's set up this way with the spline system they used. I mean, overall it works pretty well. It's just a little finicky, but you know, it's a tycoon transport train building game. These tend to be finicky. That's kind of the point sometimes, is setting up all these little details and doing it just the way you want. And we should be able to bring this, I can't connect yet, to there and there. So we're all hooked up, and it automatically made a double bridge and a double level crossing. Now this is 2 parallel tracks. We need to actually connect these together. What I'm gonna have is the trains running on the right side here. I was gonna say left. So they're gonna come in from this side, go into the station, and then leave, and they'll switch over. So I'll set up a switch going this way with as much room as I can. Maybe I'll bring it back here. Yeah, it doesn't like that. So right about there. That's a decent speed. I mean, it has to accelerate out anyways. Accept that. And we're gonna put some signals down. So out here, we want the trains going this way. I put it on, I decided to use the right side because that's the way the signals are kind of set up. It makes it easier to see with them set up like that. And I can also have exit here, entrance here. Now something I'm not gonna do is put a signal here, because what will happen is a train will wait in this block. I want a train to wait back here while there's a train in the station. But I do want a exit here so the train can leave. If there's, I guess, if there's something in this block, it doesn't matter. I've got a signal there. It helps tell the train which way to go. When you set up routes, a lot of where the train goes is kind of inferred from the way you have your signal set up. So I'll show you later when I set up. I'm just gonna set up another switch on this side, same deal. Let's bring it up to 80-ish. I'm gonna keep it short so there's less time for this train to cross this block, but keep it long so you can get better acceleration on the way out. That's the same setup, and we're also going to need to add some signals along our route here. The exact spacing doesn't matter too much. I mean, obviously the more trains you have, the closer you're going to want to have them, because the multiple trains can't be in the same block at the same time. But you don't have to put them too far apart either. I mean, in terms of timing the trains, because in this game the trains, or any vehicle, will get timed themselves. They'll slowly space themselves out, which is a very nice feature. They don't have to micromanage too much. And lastly, we're going to need a depot so we can actually get some trains out. So what I'm going to do is find a flat-ish spot kind of here. I don't know if that's enough room. Let's say over here. Drag out a rail. And just extend this a little bit. Whoops. And then I'll have it come off there onto here somewhere. Doesn't like that. So I'll just bring it to here maybe. Yeah, there, that works. And build train depot for 5 trains. So I guess you can only fit 5 trains in a depot at a time. You never really have too many trains in a depot because they cost money, so you want to sell them if they're not running. Buy trains, what do we have? So we have an AE47, Class A4. I don't really know what all these are. I'm not a huge train fan. I mean, I like trains. I just don't know what these are, where they're from. I think a bunch of them are German. I want something that goes quick, but does not cost a lot. And I don't necessarily need a lot of power because I'm not pulling a bunch of cargo. This is 125, running cost 320, which is good, but the tractive effort is really low, which means really slow acceleration. This has a lot of power, more power, quite a bit of power. This might be closer to what I want. Costs a bit more, has decent power, same 125 speed. I was running these rail buses before. They're great because they don't cost too much and you can have a lot of them, so your frequency goes down. I mean, frequency for how long someone has to wait until the next vehicle comes. But I want to show you, proper train with cars and such, so I'm not going to just use these. I mean, you could string a bunch of those together, but they're going to cost money. It's better just to grab one of these. So I'll buy an RE44. I believe the numbers denote how many wheels it has and how many are powered. So there's like 4, what are they called? Carriages? Not carriages. 4 little groups of 4 wheels. And we want a passenger carriage. I think that's the only one we have. 14 passengers, 120. Unfortunately, this passenger carriage doesn't go as fast as the train. Oh well, we'll be limited by that. And we'll buy just a couple of these. It's probably more than we need to begin with. And I haven't set a lineup, have I? So I'm going to push the delete key, which closes all the windows, which is a very nice feature that almost every game should have. And we're going to go new line. And we're going to choose this station, Worksop, over to this station, Medlar. And it automatically just kind of figures out where it needs to go, like I said, based on how the signals are set up. I've played the game enough to know how to sort of tell it where to go, but you can't actually choose where the trains go or which platforms they go on, which can be a bit annoying if you have multiple tracks and you want, express trains to pass your slower trains. I think they'll be adding the ability to put waypoints down later on. Currently, you just sort of have to play around with the signal system. One little hidden feature is if you click on a signal, wherever they went, you can set it to one way. There's no real thing that pops up. I hope they can add a little feature that adds a little sign on it so you can tell which ones are one way and one are not. But right now, you kind of gotta just remember. So we got one train. Set all line 1. Give the game a second to figure out what to do with that train. And there he goes. And we can follow him for a bit. The game is actually quite beautiful when you get zoomed in nice and close. It's like a little train set. Great sounds. I feel like at this level I'm almost playing Train Simulator. I almost want to have like an in-cab view. And I like to see the train ahead of me, but like I mentioned, if I look out into the distance, it loads all the models and kind of slows things down. Actually, that's not too bad once everything's loaded. Don't freeze! So, I'll just stick to this view. Everything looks very nice at this level, which I find a little unfortunate because I don't normally play that close. I'm usually out here somewhere. But, you can take some time to zoom in and watch your trains. So I'll let this guy do his thing. I'm going to buy 2 more trains of the same type. It was this guy. Oh, not enough money. So let us get a gigantic loan. One thing note about this game is even on easy mode, you really need to dive in head first and build a very large system and put a lot of vehicles on it to even start getting money. If you have just, you know, one train running back and forth, people won't ride it. I will explain why that is after I get these two trains. So it's train number 2, and we'll grab this, 2 cars. Train number 3. So actually I'll show you now. This line currently has a frequency of 4 minutes. So it's going to take 4 minutes for this train to go to one town and come back. I mean, it's not real time, or maybe it is real time if you're playing at normal speed. In any case, the people will go anywhere on the map as long as it's within 20 minutes. So the more frequent your trains show up, or your vehicles show up, the more likely they're going to take that route. Because if they have to wait 5 minutes before the next vehicle comes by, and it only takes them what's the number I'm looking for? Like 18 minutes to get somewhere. And if the frequency is every 1 minute, then the total is 19 if they just missed a bus. But if it goes over those 2 minutes to bump it past 20, they're not going to take that route anymore. So the more frequent your trains, the more passengers will be taking it. I also noticed that something to note when you're setting up your route. Where is that? Line 1. You can choose to have it do a full load, but I think that affects your frequency. I'm not too sure if it's just kind of calculating or if it's actually doing an average based on what's going on. Because I mean, your frequency would change if there were other trains on the line. I don't really know how that all works, but I do notice that having things sit and wait for full load is usually counterproductive until you have a lot of people. Because people don't want to sit around the train waiting for everyone else to load for like a year. So the trains are bunching up right now because I just let them all go at once, but they will slowly start spacing themselves out. Once this train comes in and loads, it's going to wait a little bit to get more distance from that one, and then they keep doing that until the timing is closer to what it should be, because this train's all the way over here, because that one's just leaving, so it's pretty good. So we got a train line set up. What else can we do? Let's set up a little bit of a bus line to help feed these trains. So I'm going to build a bus depot, bus station, just a smaller one. 2 platforms, put that there. And I will build some tram bus stops. I don't quite understand what a bus station is used for compared to a bus stop, other than having, you know, multiple buses. I guess if they're waiting for a full load, then they won't get in the way of the other ones compared to a stop that's just on the road that will block traffic. So bus is going to come out this way. It's going to go, let's just go around town. Something to look at is the land use. We've got a residential, industrial, commercial, and leisure areas. And the developers have said that no one will travel from, let's say, industrial to commercial. Everyone goes from residential to one of the other 3, whether it be from town to town or within the town. So you want to set up your lines accordingly. In this case, though, everyone's going to be traveling from residential to like the next town to take the train. So I'm just going to do a bit of a loop to collect and drop off as much as possible in the town. I'm just doing it at the corners in this sort of major road here. That may be a bit close. Let's just drop one here. When I first started this game, I put a stop basically at every intersection, kind of being realistic, but because the stops themselves cost some monthly income, you can really start draining your profits, just paying for those bus stops. So I've spaced them out a bit more just to kind of cover the town. I think it more of an express bus than like, you know, a local bus. And because the margins for these lines can be pretty slim, sometimes you're only transferring like, well, to begin with, you only have a couple people at a time sometimes. So I need a bus depot. There's also trams, which the depot looks the same, but the trams are a little bit quicker and can hold more people, take out even more money. It's not a huge deterrent to taking out money other than the interest, which means you need to start making money fast. But this will help me make money. So I need to make a new line. This is a nice little feature where you can switch to what lines you want to look at, or just look at the ones that are visible. So if I slide over here, that one disappears. But just leave it all on right now. New line. And I want it to go from here to here to here to here to here to there and there. Done. And I could also do a loop the other way if I wanted to, but not really necessary at this point. So I'll close all that. I'll grab a bus or two. I find 2 buses is pretty good for most lines in these smaller towns. In this case, I'm doing a big loop, so I'll grab 3-ish, because capacity doesn't matter as much as frequency again. Let's just grab this one. I think I haven't tried this yet. I think it's new since the last time I played. 15 passengers, 200k, 36, and it goes 25, 55, 80. That's pretty quick. Note there are sort of speed limits. I think in the town you're probably only going to be going, actually I guess we'll see, I think around 50, 55 anyways in built up areas. When they're traveling on these sort of highways, they go a lot quicker. Can I click on this guy? Where are you going? It doesn't tell you how fast he's going. You can see individual people where they're walking, where they're working, where they're shopping, where they live, etc. So because these 2 towns are connected by a road, they are starting to already travel. And hopefully that means that they'll switch over to my trains eventually. So I might actually grab this smaller one because I'm not going to be going 80 in town anyways. I'm only going to be going around this speed. It's cheaper. I don't need to hold as many people. So I'll grab 1, 2, 3 Saratushka. I don't know how to pronounce that. I think these are mostly German vehicles. And I will set all of them to line 2. Give the game a second to figure out how to do that. And away they go. Let's leave one of these open so we can watch what's going on. Just take a sip of the last of my iced coffee there. And again, they'll eventually space themselves out. So this guy will load. Let's speed this game up. And this guy will wait a little bit until this one gets further away. And they'll keep doing that until they have more reasonable spacing. And we've already got people waiting. So we've got one person there. These little icons will stack up showing you how many people are in each area. Each one represents about 5 people, rounded up. No one's actually using my trains yet. No one at all? Slow down. Anyone in here? 0 of 28, that's weird. Normally I get more than that. Maybe it's just because I'm running on slow speed. It takes a little while for people to sort of realize the line's there and also like switch their jobs, and because first they have to see if it's reasonable to get over the next town, and then they have to decide, it's like, okay, well maybe I do want to work over in that town. So I got a couple of people waiting there. Let's quickly set up a passenger system over here. I'll show you a little trick I do with the stations. Oh, I'm out of money again. These trains are expensive to run. Money, 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 money. So station. Let's see, where are the people going? Land use. Oh, that's land value. Land use. I'm not sure what land value really denotes or why I should care about it, but it's there. So residents over here. So kind of want to stick to this part of the town. I'll catch some residents along there. So I'll just put a stop here. I would say over here. This side of town. And we can even drop one over here. Maybe that was kind of close. So why can't I put a bus stop right there? There we go. And we want to create a new route, new line. to here. So by putting the station here, it's on a dead end, and sometimes if there's a node even closer, it'll just like turn around right there. If you have it in an area like this, it will use it will use the roads it can to do a proper turnaround. So it's a bit of a cheat I do sometimes to do like that. But we'll link all these up. And close that. We'll build another depot here. Vehicles never really need to visit the depots, so you could just grab the vehicles from the other one and send them over here, but save a bit of time. And I'll just drop this depot next to our stations. Actually, I'll put it over here. Don't want to put too many crosswalks on the path of the line, because people are going to be walking back and forth, and that's one major thing that slows down a lot of the vehicles. We'll do the same thing. Whoops. Buy some vehicles. Say 3 of these. Not enough money. Am I even making money yet? No, I'm not. I don't know if these trains are too expensive. Oops, I want one more. Why can't I buy a road vehicle? Buy. Set all to line 3. Go. This is, oh yeah, visible. Turn that off. Okay, so my bus line's making money, but my train line currently is not. I think these trains are kind of expensive. What's our frequency? 90 seconds. This might actually be too quick of a frequency. I could probably bring that down a bit and still have decent passengers. Could park one of these in the depot for now, but I'll let it run. Can always take out more loans. This should turn around soon. Oh yeah, there we go. 16, 17, 18. Okay, yeah. Now they got those bus depots hooked up. People are far more willing instead of walking, and that train is almost full. Okay, yeah. This will start making money a second. Nicely set up. As I think I mentioned before, you need to put a lot of money into your system before it really starts working, because you need to actually connect things up and give people options to go to different places. So we have passenger trains, we have buses. Let's take a look at the cargo system. I'm not going to build a cargo train because they're a little finicky, and you might see why. Because if I go to cargo will actually move through the map without any vehicles. I don't really know how that happens. Imagine maybe there's like people carrying it by hand or something, but it's one way to actually see what needs to be sent where. So we currently have goods coming from this oil refinery over here, which is very low production actually, and that oil is coming from this oil well over here. Can't really see it because of low production. Maybe actually what we'll do is look at industries and find something with better production. This oil refinery is making a lot. It's actually maxed out. It's right next to a town we're using. There we go. This is a better line to work on. So I could build a train to go along here, but it's a very short line and I got this huge hill to climb up. So I'm not going to. I will build some road vehicles. So let's just switch our type over to truck station and let it load the model, and just kind of build nearby. Oh man, we're out of money. More money. I don't know if there's a max. I guess we just hit it. $10 million loan. Hopefully I'll start making money shortly. Yeah, my trains are not costing as much now. So plop that down there. So this is going to pick up oil here. And we will build a station here to drop off the oil. And it'll pick up goods, which it will drive all the way over here. Although, might be better actually take them over here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take this road. Let's go down to country road because they're faster for our vehicles and cheaper to build. The town will upgrade them if it needs to automatically. Build a bit of, whoop. Well, that went away. Build a bit of a bridge. Connect that here. And we'll build a depot right here. Sure. And we'll set up a route going from new line from our oil to our refinery, where you'll pick up the goods to the town and then back to the oil wells. I don't know if this will work right away because, oh yeah, there it goes. It's already sending them over to this town because you can't just choose to pick up all the goods here and send them over there. It's going to decide where it wants the goods to go, and then you have to cater to those routes. So it's probably still going to split the goods back and forth, and if I want to make more money, I'll have to send another truck over this way to the other town. But it'll probably send most of them over there, so we'll do this for now. We already have a depot over here. We'll just use this. Buy road vehicles. Got one truck option here. It's a pretty good truck. It goes maximum 95, which I won't actually reach that speed unless you have a fairly large highway. And we'll set line number 4, and away they go. In this case, I think I will, too many windows. Line 4, I will set this station, work SOP halt to be a full load. Probably isn't necessary since there's going to be a lot of oil in there. And you can actually click on these and see that, yes, it is using the line. It's also going to be upgrading in 10 months, so its production will go up because it's already at its limit. I believe the more you service a facility, the more production it will have. So sometimes you can start servicing a facility that's not producing anything and slowly work your way up. So far, it seems like that increase is extremely slow and not really worth it. But again, this is beta and probably will be something that'll be tweaked. It's cool as you can actually see the goods piling up in the different types. So it's oil. Click on the truck and it's currently holding 6 of 11, so it's going to wait a little bit longer. This is a little confusing where it says, you know, all these different types, but it can only, the maximum capacity of any of these things is 11. So it can only have, you know, like 5 here and 6 there of each. I've had some lines get a little mixed up because it'll be picking up the wrong material type because it's basically, it will, you don't necessarily have it, what am I trying to say? You don't necessarily have to have the vehicles go from point to point. For example, if I didn't transfer the goods, they're going to go over there anyways. I could drop the goods off, like even just right here, and it'll find their way over to town. It's just taking the shortest route it can, and it'll consider your system as an option. So sometimes you'll find you're transporting stuff you didn't quite expect to transport because some material type realized, hey, it'd be a shorter route if I just took this truck. So we got quite a few people standing around here. Our trains are just starting to make money. This is just town to town. I'm making a decent profit. This is already making money too. If I extended this line, I think this is the edge of the map here, I can extend this line along the river to the next town, and I'll obviously be making more money because I'm connecting another town, but there'll be even more people wanting to travel from that first town over to Shoreham by Sea, so and the trains will get filled up even faster. So the longer you make your line, the more connected you have, the more money you're going to make very quickly, and we're actually starting to make some money. Unfortunately, my loans are taking a huge chunk. I'm losing money because of it. But, you know, that's just the start. Delivering cargo by truck is a very quick way to make some cash. Passengers makes a lot of money once you have a decent system set up. I am playing on easy mode, so... and I'm already kind of struggling, but I also just kind of sped through it. But, you know, that's kind of how the game goes. I'll show you some of the other features there are, like variable height tracks and roads and things. So if I wanted to build like a switching system, I could bring this out here. This is going to cost a lot of money. And like raise up the tracks. How does this work? Let's go up. And I can bring this like around here, build a bridge so I can have the trains come off this way and go over without intersecting with the train, and I can head up over to this town. So you can create some very nice intersections, and it's pretty easy to do as long as you sort of get used to some of the little intricacies of the game. For example, this is collision, but I don't know what it's colliding on. It doesn't like this. I think you might not be able to let it just end in the air like that. I think it needs to connect to something. So I'd probably have to draw some track on this side. Look at that, and then I might be able to connect them, but it's not going as high. So you gotta kind of play with it a bit. Yeah, that's, I don't quite understand some of this yet. There are ways of doing it, and I think this is still something they're tweaking. I did notice a note in the changelog that you can have bridges just end like this, but it doesn't seem to be working quite yet. Again, still beta, something we'll take a look at later on. What else? I kind of want to build a bit of a train cargo. Let's do that. Let's go over here. We've got wood, going to a sawmill, going to town. So I'm going to build station, cargo type. I kind of wish there weren't two types of train stations, because I'd like to drop off the cargo in a town without building another station, or at least be able to like upgrade the station to include part of it that's cargo. But pop this here, and I'll put this over here. This is 2 tracks? Yeah, I probably only need 1 track over there. I don't necessarily need to be too close. I mean, it'll find its way over there. This will still be faster than going on its current route. And I'll extend this way. Over here. Can I just connect it right up? Let's not do that. There we go. A little bit slow return there, but that's fine. Bit of a hill climb that doesn't affect it too much. And I'm gonna need a depot. Depot. Now, I think a more reasonable way to do it would be to sort of get your trucks to gather up a lot of goods and resources next to a station, have them transfer over the station, and then have your trains send them long distance instead of having your station next to all the production facilities, because these facilities, even producing at 25, they don't fill up a train very fast. I mean, you fill like 1 cart by the time it gets back and forth. Let's see how it does though. So we'll grab a bigger train. Probably want a bit more power. Let's grab this guy. Seems reasonable. Let's grab this one. Oh, that's even cheaper. Yeah, let's grab that one. Looks cool. And we are sending wood. And that goes in. That's for coal and iron. That's oil. Wood and good. Good wood. I'll throw a couple of those on. Actually, this will work really well because we're going to be turning those into goods, and we could send those to the town. And we need to set up a line from here to here. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try that again. New line. Close this. Add station. This one. There's no real start and stop with the lines. The train will just kind of go to the closest one first, even if it's not really where it needs to be. And then we will close that and set this to go on line 5. Slow the game down a little bit. Very nice graphics. I love the sounds and the visuals on this. When you get nice and close, watch your vehicle. I can actually track the vehicle. And if I lower the view like that, it has to load all the models out there, so it slows down a bit. Loads up. We should probably set this to full load. I want this one. Close all that. Yeah, there's our little wood train going back and forth, and we can hook it up to the town to drop off the cargo. It'll also send the cargo to town on its own. I'm not sure how cargo or passengers affects town growth. To me, it seems like the towns will kind of grow at a fairly decent rate no matter what. Again, might be something they'll tweak. We are making a good chunk of change. So yeah, I think that's where we'll finish it off. It's a pretty long episode because it's a pretty expansive game. There's a lot to kind of do on even just a simple line. I'm a little worried about replay value at this point because they kind of only have one style of map, even though they have random seeds. Almost every map will be a river with some towns scattered along it, and then some towns up in the hills. And I have a lot of trouble connecting the riverside towns with the hill towns because there's not a lot of options to get up this kind of hill, except for maybe huge switchbacks, which could be fun to do. But I'd like to see a wider variety of maps, which I think will happen. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to implement. A lot of people say that about developments. Oh, it can't be that hard. Just, change code A, B, C. It's easy, right? Yeah, I don't know. But, even with that said, I've already put many hours into this game, just kind of tweaking and building, even on like the smaller and medium maps. So I think you definitely will get your value out of this game. Little disclosure, I did get this game for free because I did manage to get into beta, and you just happen to get a free game if you help out in the beta. I'm not sure how much help have I been because I haven't said too much on the forums because a lot of other people have already said what I was going to say. I should probably mention the loading times because I haven't really seen anyone mention that, and it might be kind of unique to me. I can't think of anything else to say right now, so thanks for watching the Whazhatt. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like these. I know I haven't produced too many lately, but I'm hoping to pick it back up again. And I will catch you all next time. Thanks for watching and take care.